Hi everyone, today I'm going to be discussing about my Meetup project. So for this Meetup assignment, I met a group called, or I attended a meeting with a group called CS2 AI Online. They pretty much just work in the cybersecurity field, so I got some insight from them. So this is the title of the meeting. It took place on a Zoom call on March 26th. Was from an hour and 30 long. So list of presenters and who they are. So I met with Andrew Boschman and Sarah Freeman. They both work in cybersecurity and like pretty much infrastructure. So for example, Andrew Boschman, he works as a senior grid strategist at Idaho National Laboratory, and he works in cybersecurity. So like things such as electrical grids or such doesn't get hacked or go down. Same kind of goes for Sarah Freeman, but she works for MITRE, which is a nonprofit organization, but pretty much does the same type of things. So, discussion on what was said. Um, they both pretty much just introduced themselves, what they worked in, where they work, and just overall they just talked about their work experience in cybersecurity. They both said that early on they were interested in computers, coding, and hacking. So that's kind of one of the main reasons why they got into cybersecurity because they were just interested in what it was like. They both said that it was kind of hard to get into for, cybersecurity because it was just really complicated work and it was just a really competitive field. Like it was hard to get a job even out of college for them. But once they actually got a job, they said that they really enjoyed their experiences, even though it was challenging. They always welcomed the challenge because it helped them grow. So after the meeting, or during the meeting, I would say, I talked to Andrew Boschman, kind of just asked him a couple questions about his overall experience in cybersecurity. So I asked him what was his hardest part, or what is the hardest part to him about working in cybersecurity. And he mentioned that cybersecurity is always evolving, things are always changing. Hackers are finding new ways to get into areas and they're always pretty much is a field that is always advancing. So he kind of quoted it as something like you're in a race where the finish line keeps moving. So overall, what I thought about the meeting, I thought it was really positive. I met a lot of cool people, and they just shared a lot of interesting stories about cybersecurity. How they got a job, how they got started, and just just kind of know how they like what they're doing, challenges they faced. They always just said that it was really competitive. It is a field that is always evolving and advancing, so sometimes it gets hard to keep up. But they said that if you stick through it, it's fun, and they always definitely recommend it to new people. And overall, I think I would go to the same meeting or even a meeting in a similar topic just because it was just really fun and I got to meet a lot of cool people. So this is a screenshot of the meeting I did with a club at CSU East Bay. I got to meet with the Google Developer Student Club, and they hosted a meeting, pretty much just teaching us the basics of JavaScript and React. So in this meeting, like I said, they were just teaching us the basics of JavaScript. They went over JavaScript code such as variables, array functions, kind of just like the basics of any coding language, and they just taught us how it is or what it looks like in JavaScript, and you're just teaching us some code and just giving us examples pretty much. So afterwards, a question that I found on Stack Overflow that really stood out to me was the differences between a pointer variable and a reference variable. It was something that still kind of eludes me to this day. It's a very complicated topic, and sometimes it could really like confuse me when I look at it. But um, there was a lot of differences that was posted in this, but the main one I saw was that pointers can be reassigned while references cannot be rebound. And not only that, references must always be initialized while pointers does not. In the Stack Overflow, in the screenshots I will provide, they kind of just show like key differences. It showed a lot of examples of codes, which kind of help you understand better, and just really good explanations overall. Mm, mm, mm. So afterwards, GitHub. So GitHub is a website, our platform for developers and people in the coding space, kind of just store, track, and collaborate on their coding projects using a tool called Git. You could think of it as a kind of like another form of Google Docs, but for coding, you can save versions of your code. You can collaborate with others. It's easy to share, just like Google Docs, and it's just a space where you can manage your projects with tools like issues and boards. So afterwards, when I posted the same question I found on Stack Overflow onto ChatGPT into trying to kind of like compare both answers I received, I would say they both say very similar things on both, and they both give really good, clear coding examples and explanations. But in the end, I kind of found that ChatGPT does a better job at overall like just summarizing everything instead of having all the information kind of like spread out. And they also word it a little bit easier for anybody to understand, especially if you were unfamiliar with the topic. Here's some more examples of such. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have for you guys today. Thank you guys for watching this video.